Assalamu alaikum everyone, my dear students. It's very pleasure to present you again. This is my third presentation for science and this is for grade 8 bilingual unit. Today we are going to move to the 12th unit, the life cycle of the living organisms. Before the lesson, let's see what do you mean by life cycle. Here, by looking at the image, you can clarify. Here, the life cycle of cockroach is shown here. The cockroach is developed from the egg. Egg developed into one small part, that's a nymph, and it is developed further and it formed the cockroach. So there is a process here, that means cyclic process. So there are different changes takes place as a cyclic process from its birth to the death. So that's called as life cycle. The sequence of events in the stages of development as a cyclic process from birth to death is called as life cycle. Here you can see the life cycle of human also, from baby, child, adolescent, adult, further. Okay, now it's a stop. Now new generation is formed. So it's a cyclic process. Here you can see the life cycle of the mosquito, the similar to that one. Now let's move to the another new part, that is a metamorphosis. Metamorphosis means here, now imagine you are a baby, now you are an adolescent. Now tell me, are both same? No, there are differences in external, that means physically you are developed. So there are different changes takes place in each stages, so that is called as morphological changes. Here you can see, let's take about the butterfly first. Eggs, it is developed into caterpillar developed into pupa, it is developed into adult. Are both the egg and the caterpillar same? No. Caterpillar and the pupa same? No. So there are changes. That changes is called as morphological changes in the each life stages. Like that, take about the mosquito's life. It's also egg, larva, pupa, adult. Both each the stages are different. So that's called as metamorphosis. Well, my dear students, in the metamorphosis, there are two types: complete, incomplete. Complete means they show the morphological differences. Incomplete means they don't show the morphological differences. For an example, here let's talk about cockroach. Eggs is developed into nymph. Nymphs is developed into adult. Eggs and the nymphs, they are say changes. Okay. Are the nymph and the cockroach different? No. They are somewhat same. They don't show the morphological difference. So it is an incomplete. Let's talk about another one. Mosquito. Egg developed into larva. Larva developed to pupa. Pupa developed into adult. Is the egg and the larva same? Larva and the pupa same? No, they are totally differences. So that's called as complete metamorphosis. So you have a clear clarification in complete and incomplete metamorphosis. Okay, my dear students, let's move to the life cycle of each organism. First, let's move to the frog. In the frog, there are three: egg, larva, adult. Now imagine, is this a complete or incomplete? Yes, it's a complete. Why it's a complete? Now take the egg and the larva. Is the egg and the larva same, or the larva and the adult same? No, they are totally morphological differences. Yes, look at the second picture. Egg is developed into tadpole. In the tadpole, there are different changes. Okay, so it is a complete metamorphosis. Now let's take about each stages of the frog. First stage, it is a what? Egg. Here it is a jelly-like structure. The female frog lay eggs in the water, and I think you have have you seen the kasa kasa? Just like that one. Now let's move to the tadpole. Here there's a there are tadpoles here. It's similar to fish, can swim, and it breathes by the gills. And it's a herbivores. What do you mean by herbivores? They feed on insect in the aquatic insect. Sorry. Herbivores means they are feeding on aquatic plants. Okay, now let's move to the third part, that is an adult. Here, frog, how many legs? There are 4 legs for locomotion. Here, lungs. In the tadpole gills, the adult use the lungs. And it is an insectivore. That means they feed on insect. Now, let's move to the life cycle of butterfly. Very interesting. Here, the egg developed to caterpillar. Caterpillar developed to pupa. Pupa developed to adult. Let's see one by one. Where the butterfly lay the eggs? They are laying under the surface of the plant leaf. Okay, here this is the eggs. Now eggs developed into your familiar one. This is a caterpillar. You all have seen this one. They are using legs for locomotion. They feed the tender leaves and they grow. Very important one is there are some hair-like structure on the caterpillar. It secretes the venom to protect from others. If you touch or it falls on you, you will feel the itching because of it. Okay, now let's move to the another one, pupa. Here pupa is an inactive one. They don't feed, they lay on the surface. Okay, now the pupal cocoon is broken and the butterfly comes after the struggling and they comes out. Now let's move to the another part, the life cycle of cockroach. Here it is an incomplete. Why? Because egg developed to nymph developed to adult, and there are no morphological difference between nymph and the adult. So it is an incomplete. Nymph is a very smaller, no wing. Nymph is not sexually matured, and nymph become an adult by shedding their skeleton. Here you can see the difference between the nymph and the adult here. Okay, my dear students, I think you all have understand about what's the life cycle, what is metamorphosis, what are the types of metamorphosis, and each life cycle of cockroach, frog, and the butterfly. Now you have a clear idea how to specify complete and incomplete. Here I have given some images of the life cycle of some organisms here. The second one is by here given which type of metamorphosis. Like that, for others you have to write down whether they are complete or incomplete. Okay, you take your own time and think and write down it's a complete life cycle or incomplete life cycle. Well, my dear students, I think all have understand about the 12th unit, and thank you very much for listening my presentation, and thank you again.